Well, you were literally working.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Microsoft Theater here in downtown Los Angeles, brought to you by Shawn Porter Promotions. Live from Los Angeles, it's time for the main event of the evening.
We're going to hear that voice August 6th. Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Like, you always playing around. I'm like, yeah, this is your show.
Oh yeah, you got Jimmy making announcements, huh?
For my man?
Showtime.
Oh yeah.
Here, let me real quick. Welcome to the Put Away Podcast, everybody. We are fresh off of a week of lives. I sound kind of weird. We good?
Echo.
Yeah. Fresh off of a couple of lives.
It's on.
Okay, out there in LA.
Yes.
And
Better.
did you happen to catch the lives?
No,
you weren't there.
No, I wasn't there.
Yeah, usually when Carson ain't there
from afar.
Yeah, Carson
you do.
Is like,
I do too.
I watched the Ryan interview.
No. We need y'all for all of them.
The Ryan interview was 19 minutes. I did, and I sat through the whole 19 minutes. It was good.
That's as much as you could give. He was like, I could 20 minutes. He said 20 minutes and done.
It was that was the one I was drawn the most to.
Hey man, they missed you in LA. Everybody kept asking us where you was.
Beautiful.
Yeah, dead serious. They
Most of the
missed
time
you.
it was me, but
I believe that.
Carson pulled up.
I was like, where's that tell?
I think I might rank 4th out of the 4 with fan base.
Nah.
Like people coming up. Yeah.
Ant's number 1. SP's number 2. You're 3.
No. I ain't number one.
We introduce our guest.
No, you're not. You are number 2.
Yeah, in a second.
He's number
good. All right, cool. Today we got Hasim Rahman Jr. The Rock.
Rock got it.
Yes, sir.
Gold-blooded.
Fight coming soon.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate it.
I think it's the fight that everybody's been wanting. Maybe not this fight specifically, but everybody's been wanting Jake Paul to get in the ring with a real boxer.
True.
And so now you are the guy, I guess for the sake of words, that's been chosen to get in the ring with Jake Paul.
Yeah.
Did you know that call was gonna come?
I didn't know that call was gonna come. It was actually a surprise, as much surprise to me as it was to everyone else. I got a call for sparring, and then an hour later it was, oh no, they want to fight.
Really?
Yeah, it was like they tried to do some slick stuff. Like
I thought the sparring was like months ago.
It's a thing. Like we sparred 2 years ago in February for his fight for Anisian Gibb. I boxed him. This is when he was like very, very green.
Mm-hmm.
Then I boxed him again for his fight with Nate Robinson. He had gotten a little better from February to November. He had been working on stuff and gotten a little better. Then I got a call this July, and it was, oh, well, we're about to fight Anderson Silva. We need a southpaw. Where's your weight? How you feeling after your last fight? What you been doing? And all this other extra stuff. And then an hour later it was, these guys are calling us and sending us a contract to fight you. So that's how it went to get the fight.
Since Jake been around, I'm gonna ask this and I'll let y'all go if y'all need. Since he's been around, have you ever looked at him like, come on, man, put me in the ring with him?
It was more like I didn't really look at it like that. I looked at it like, this guy's a good thing for boxing.
Yeah.
He's bringing a lot of attention to the sport. He's bringing a lot of a whole new fan base. But now it's like, okay, he's at this pedestal, so now it's on me. I can make a name for myself beyond what I ever even imagined as far as timing wise.
Yeah.
Just because I got a late start to my pro career, so it was like I wouldn't imagine getting here to get to this level of
another couple years.
Yeah, I mean, you would think that someone, especially coming off a loss, I would have to fight. I'm thinking already after my last fight, I'm like, all right, now I got to go get Wilder. Now I got to go get Fury. Now I got to go knock off one of these huge guys in order to attain the spot where everybody knows my face.
Right.
And now it's like I think that fighting Jake Paul is even bigger than fighting Wilder.
Right.
So that's or Fury or any of the other Usyk, any of the other champions that are out there right now, except maybe Joshua or Canelo.
Yeah.
I think Jake Paul is like the biggest fight out.
One more thing for me. Ryan Garcia fought last night. We're going to get to that. And everybody's saying, why are we talking Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis? Ryan doesn't have any belts. Why don't we want to see him against Haney, or why don't we want to see him against Lopez, or there's a few other names that you would think we would want to see against Tank Davis. All the while, definitely right here, we like this is the biggest fight to be made in the lightweight division, because these guys know it ain't about the belts with them. It's about who's coming to the arena to see the fight. And not everybody that's coming to the arena on fight night is a boxing fan.
Yes.
And there's so many, I mean, honestly, I could probably count on one hand, and them being two of the guys that can command an arena to be full with people who aren't avid boxing fans. And so I just want to clear that up, because when you're talking about, hey, Jake Paul's going to get more eyes on me than Tyson Fury or Deontay Wilder, I know it's a big clump of boxing fans that are like, there's no way, we don't care about him, we don't want to see him. But then there's so many people outside of the boxing world that are going to be watching you based on Jake Paul, and actually based on your dad, not so much based on you. So I mean, understanding that, what kind of energy do you have coming, in camp? Because you still got a few weeks to go. And
it's like a burning, something that was not in me before, where it's like, okay, now I get to show the world what it really is. Even from my last fight, it was the first time two heavyweight champion sons had fought each other.
Right.
And I trained very hard for that. But with this is so different, because the whole world's watching. That was like a fight, like, to where the world could see me, where I could, you know what I'm saying? All right, this is like me breaking through.
We had to find you.
Yeah.
In order to see that fight.
Exactly.
We won't have to find you.
Exactly. You don't have to, everybody already knows. Everybody is pay-per-view. It's Showtime pay-per-view. This is the pinnacle of the sport. It's the biggest stage. This could wind up being the biggest fight of the year. This could wind up being a whole lot of things to come. And I appreciate Showtime and Most Valuable Promotions, Greg Cohen Promotions, and the Aries Agency for getting me in this position. This is the chance of a lifetime. And I think that any boxer would take, every boxer wants to fight Jake Paul. So, with them giving me this opportunity, it was a no-brainer to take it.
Did you kind of think at the time when it I know you mentioned it went from sparring to this, when it came time when they were like, you want to fight, were you thinking, you really want to fight? Like, you really want to fight me in the ring, like, in front of everyone?
This is the thing. I know where he gets his confidence from. I know he's getting his confidence from when we were sparring, or it's a combination. It's a combination of what happened, or however much success he felt like he had when we sparred, as well as my last fight. And where people keep saying I got knocked out, I didn't get knocked out. I got stopped. There's a difference, to me, at least, to me. In the boxing world, and it's funny because I just keep seeing people who are in boxing and like, oh, he got knocked out, and I'm like, I definitely did something amazing. People don't really get up from being put down face first.
Not in the heavyweight division.
Definitely not in the heavyweight division. I mean, when you go down face first, you're hurt. You're and on top of going down face first, I got hit with a shot on my way down. And to show the heart and the determination to get up from that and keep fighting was that was just a testament to myself when I watch it back, like, okay, I do want to be here. I do want to do this. This is what I want to do. And I just I agree with a lot of the writers that wrote about the fight afterwards and saying it was a premature stoppage. But I don't complain. I don't make no excuses. Congrats to Kenzie Morrison. Me and Kenzie have the same managers now, so it's I wish him all nothing but success. I don't have any ill will towards no referee or nobody about what happened that night. I've always believed that, Allah takes nothing away from you without returning equal or greater. So that was one of the first things my dad said to me in the locker room after the fight. He's like, you forgetting something. You forgetting you got equal or greater coming, so don't worry about this. And I mean, it speaks for itself. I'm Showtime pay-per-view, and I got a chance to do something that can have people all around the world. Oh, you the guy that knocked out Jake Paul. You the guy that beat Jake Paul. I mean, people that you would never know. I mean, I'm already walking around like when I'm going to get my food or when I'm going to get gas or anything, and people already recognize me, and I ain't even put my hands on this man yet.
Rock, you mentioned. Oh, go ahead. Andy.
No, go ahead. That's you.
Oh yeah. No, well, Rock, you mentioned the Tommy Morrison's son, the last fight, and I was at that fight, and we talked afterwards on FightHype, and you were definitely winning that fight, rather easily through 2 or 3 rounds off the jab, outboxing them, and then
Actually, all 4 judges had it 40-36, so I won all 4 rounds on all the people that counts cards. So every round that seen the final bell, I won. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm with you. You were clearly winning the fight, and then
Hey, hold on a second. Let's get a moment of silence. Because anytime you can correct Zittel,
I couldn't remember if it was through 3 or 4. I was there.
anytime you can correct Zittel,
Yeah.
all right.
I carry on. I just couldn't remember if it was through 3 or 4.
I mean,
but
not
he was
one judge seen me lose a round, so not one judge wrote down that I lost a round. So that was an error in my preparation. But go ahead.
And then the fight just turned once fatigue set in for you. And that like you said, that's why you got stopped, not knocked out. It was like half he's punching you, half your conditioning is starting to give out in the fight.
Fade.
What do you got to do to not let that happen with Jake Paul? Because I see that being his best chance of winning is once you get tired.
I think that people don't take into account McKenzie's 6'4". He got in that ring 235. And he
Country
was
strong.
He was swinging bombs from the moment we started. Every punch he threw was had ill intent on it. From my point of view, Jake doesn't pose that type of challenge. It's a completely different challenge. It's a smaller guy who I'm gonna have to find. Kenzie, I didn't have to find him. He was right there in front of me. It's a completely different fight. Styles make fights. And now I'm the much bigger guy. I'm much bigger than Jake than Kenzie was bigger than me. So,
But he's trying to make you suck down to 200, though.
but I'm not going to be 200 when I get in the ring. So when we get in the ring, it's gonna be fireworks, and I'm gonna be pretty much how I look today. I'm gonna look like a full-fledged heavyweight.
He's 205 today, FY. 205 today.
How much you think he's going to struggle with that jab? Because Tyrone Woodley had a good right hand, but he didn't have none of these guys he's fought have had anywhere close to a jab you have.
I got something for y'all to watch after we finish here, and then you'll see how much he's gonna struggle with the jab. I see this. I came from when I first started. The first person that taught me was Emmanuel Stewart. So I feel like I need to go in my bag for this fight and put a wonderful performance together. Of course, I mean, it's no secret. Everything's behind the jab. That's how you start in boxing. That should be the first thing. So giving this guy a boxing lesson, I believe that the jab is the key, and it's something you can't stop. And it's something that is coming. And if he believes his jab is better than mine, then we'll find out on August 6th.
I remember you. This was awesome of you to do when we were teenagers. You put me on the phone with Emmanuel. Said, "Shh, I'll three-way you, but just shut up and I'll let you listen to the great Emmanuel."
School.
And he was really taken with your talent, wasn't he? The late great Emmanuel Stewart.
And he said it on several HBO podcasts. I mean, I'm sorry, HBO broadcasts of fights that I would be the next heavyweight champion if I took it serious. If I kept going, if I took it serious and dedicated myself. You were saying like this is before he gave Deontay Wilder, before he gave Tyson Fury, before he even approved those guys. He approved me and called me his next heavyweight and said I was the future of the division. So
Facts.
Everything that Emmanuel said is definitely still ringing in my head, still ringing in my heart, and I look to make him proud come August 6th. This is a decorated amateur. My pro career is going very well, and like I said, decorated amateur. I have a years, over a decade worth of experience, and going against a guy who has one amateur fight and 5 fights against all people in their debut. Mm-hmm. So this is definitely not the hardest fight that has come up for me. Not even the second hardest fight that has come up for me. So when you say this is the most money you ever made and it's going to be the opponent is not the hardest opponent you face. It was a no-brainer to hop right on this.
And Rockman, you have this is damn near a reset. He may not be the hardest opponent, but you need to take him serious.
Absolutely.
I feel like a lot of people got in that ring with him and played with him. When he giving it everything he's got, what he lacks in talent, I think he makes up for, like Zittel said, and he's conditioned. But do you get DMs and stuff? Because for a while I felt like he was making a mockery of the sport. I gave him a little respect after the last fight. But do you got guys hitting you up like, man, you got to do this for boxing? People they don't want to go public. Obviously, I know
it's endless. It's endless.
And do you feel that pressure
from fighters too?
You feel that pressure
from fighters, from coaches, from fighters, from coaches, from promoters.
Rock, people walk up to you. People walk up to you. They look. This is what they do. Come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
You
got to do it, man.
Yeah,
you got to
us.
do it, man. And,
do it for us.
And they don't even say what you got to do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
The funny thing, I was going to eat the other day. And I was with All Access. I don't know if they caught it or not. But I was with All Access and I was getting something to eat. And this guy comes up to me. I've never seen this man day in my life. And he comes up to me. He said, "Bro, you're doing God's work, man." He's gave me like a pound. He's like, "Man, you're doing God's work, man. Go get him." And it didn't say nothing else. Didn't say nothing about a fight.
And just go away. Everybody needs to let you know what you're doing is for.
Yeah.
Like you don't know. And I think it's funny because that's how people connect to us as fighters. It's like I can't look over there. It's like they don't know us. Never met the man a day in your life, but for him, he's a big boxing fan. There's a lot of big boxing fans out there and that don't support Jake Paul. And now understanding that you're the boxer here, they're like, oh, he's going to do it. He's the one, you know? So I don't really look at it like it's pressure. I think if anything,
I see it as an opportunity.
You're not fighting.
yeah. No.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? No.
It's an opportunity. It's not really pressure. It's like I'm representing. It's not really pressure because I believe in boxing.
Yeah.
I believe in boxing. I believe in the science. I know this man works extremely hard. I know he's going to be in tremendous shape. So I know that where I lacked in my last fight and where I fell short was my conditioning and to be able to perform at a high level for the duration of the whole fight. So that's something that can be fixed. Experience, you can't buy experience. You can't buy instinct. You can't buy a boxing IQ. And I think that instinct, experience, and boxing IQ, I think I'm miles and miles and miles ahead of this man. With the road work we doing and the track work we doing, I just believe that the things that I need to fix are gonna be fixed, and I think it's gonna be a tough night for Jake Paul, and he hasn't had a tough night yet. I've had a tough night. I've had more than one tough night. I fought Olympians in the amateurs, so this is definitely going to be a show, and I look to dominate when it's my time.
And do you feel like how many times you sparred him?
Twice. We sparred twice.
Did you notice a difference that he got a little bit better?
Yeah.
In the first time and second time?
Definitely. The first time he was very green, and it was like what I took away from it was like, okay, he's tough. He's not just gonna go away when you punch him, because some people when they first get into boxing and you hit them one good time, they'll stop or they'll find a way out. But I was okay. He's tough. He take a punch, keep coming. Okay.
And was you up in there playing with him?
I mean, it was like
you wouldn't take it serious.
It was not that I didn't take it serious, but it was like his people had came to. This was him and Logan came to box, and I was in camp with Joey DeJecko, and Logan boxed Joey DeJecko, and then I boxed Jake. Logan almost got his head taken off by Joey, so and they had to, it was like, all right,
keep it on low.
Let's get this. Let's just get him out of there with him. And then they put me in with Jake, and it's like, I don't want to. I get nothing out of tearing off a YouTuber's head, and then these guys are trying to, they explain to us like they just getting in the box. And so what do I get from stopping this kid? He was probably like 22, 23 at the time, maybe. But like, what do I get from just stopping this kid from boxing is something that he wants to do, and it's pretty cool because actually I trained Overflow for his bout that was overseas on an undercard where Jake Paul fought DG. So I had known about the YouTube becoming a boxing thing and this whole thing just becoming something in boxing. So I'm like, oh yeah, cool. I'll help you out. So it was like really like the first time I was kind of tutoring him, and then the second time we boxed, it was like I still had training wheels on a bicycle. Yeah. So you know, it was not very like I wouldn't say it was the most serious sparring for me. I've been in sparring sessions with world champions. I've been in sparring sessions with people who are going to contend for world titles. I've been in sparring sessions with Shawn Porter, and it was like it was definitely you know, night and day. I mean, when you're in a boxing ring and you only got to use one hand against someone, it's not you can tell it's not that competitive to one side. But this is the thing people forget. Jake has no amateur experience, so all his experience comes from the gym. So every time he's in the gym and he's sparring, they're hyping him up like this is a fight. So it's a fight to him, but it's really like I'm just giving him a look to me. So, you know, people, I don't know who reads into that, but whatever the case may be, come August 6th, we're not sparring. So this is serious.
So is this a case where he thinks he knows what he's getting, but you more than him actually know what you're getting August 6th based on?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I've seen everything he can do. I've seen the things he does. I know what he does good. I know what he does excellent, and I know that he's going to be in tremendous shape. But one thing about Jake Paul is he panics. So I believe he's going to panic on August 6th for sure.
Do you think his right hand is legit?
Yeah, absolutely. He definitely has a right hand, and that's why I'm training for this fight as if I was fighting Deontay Wilder. I'm not taking no right hands. I'm not trying to take any punches. I don't even want him to hit me. If the compy box on his side could say 0 at the end of the day, then that'll be a nice day's work. Yeah. But you know, you can't swim without getting wet. So we prepare to be hit. We prepare to for everything. Anything that he's bringing, we preparing for it.
Do you feel like, and Shawn, you can also speak to this a little bit, your dad was critical of, you know, under-prepared, everything. Do you feel like that almost lights a fire under you now? It's like, okay, I'm on the biggest stage, and my dad's kind of airing me out. Your dad been known to say a similar thing from time to time. Do you think that is almost extra motivation? Because now everyone's like, okay, you underprepared last time. Let's see you this time.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. My dad gonna keep it real.
Always. I've met him once, and can confirm that.
He's gonna let you know what's going on, how it is, and I trust my dad and his boxing IQ better than almost anyone. Shawn, I was in camp with Shawn. This was November or October, November, like 2 years ago, 2-3 years ago. I was in camp with Shawn. Shawn had a big fight coming up, so I was boxing this. This. I'm not gonna say his name, but he's a well-respected heavyweight, and he was giving me problems. I mean, he gave me so many problems, and I took the tape home and I showed my dad, and he told me one thing to do different. I came to the gym, I did that one thing different, no problems. I'm like, that's so crazy. This is the same guy that was just like giving me hell 2-3 days ago. Yeah. Didn't switch up nothing. I think me and my dad did like a workout or two, and then he told me the one thing to change, and it was night and day in the sparring. I'm like, wow, nobody knows you like your father knows you. And I'm sure that's probably happened with Shawn, where he's like, man, I can't figure this one thing out. And then your dad will say something that's like a key, click, and then it just all comes together, and that's the beauty in boxing. That's why I say I believe in boxing. I believe that, you know, with the experience I have and all the things that I've seen and all the styles that I've had in front of me, I'm gonna be able to. I could show Jake Paul a different fight every round. I don't think he can do that to me.
Happened to me one time in training. couple of rounds that just wasn't going my way. I'm frustrated. And I come back to the corner and I look at my dad. And my dad could tell through my eyes like that. I was basically saying, tell me what to do. But I wasn't humble enough to actually say it. So my dad's like, why are you looking at me like that?
Go talk to Brad Solomon.
I said, and then I said, you my coach. Tell me what to do. He said, I already told you what to do. You're not doing it. You need to do this. You need to do that. And it took me being frustrated and for me to actually hear my dad. And then I let go of the frustration and did what he had been telling me to do for 3 or 4 rounds. I come back to the corner. He's like, I got nothing else to tell you. I've been telling you, you ain't doing it. You know what I mean? So you're right. The dads always know, or great coaches, not just the dads, but great coaches always know their fighters. If they paid it close enough attention to them, they know what's clicking, what's not clicking, and why. Sometimes it's something very, very simple, and you like, dang, one thing. That's all I need was one thing.
and like I said, and I remember that so vividly because we were at your gym, and it was literally just one thing, and I was like, wow, that really made a huge difference. That one thing, and it just clicked, and that's the thing, especially someone watching from the outside that cares about you. They'll watch and they'll see it, and you know they'll say it. They'll say it to you. Yeah. Come August 6th, I feel like we're doing all the homework. We're doing all the preparation correctly. I'm putting in the work. I'm not asking any questions. I'm at every workout. I'm at every recovery therapy. I'm at every training session, and I'm giving it 100. So I think that I will be a problem for not only Jake Paul, but world champions. That's what I believe. I believe that the skill set that I have and everything that I possess in the boxing ring with my experience, I believe I'm on a world championship level. So,
hey, after you get Jake, you want Logan?
I want my brother to fight Logan. I want Sharif to fight Logan.
Okay.
Or
Logan bigger, right?
But
I mean,
Sharif's smaller than you.
Yeah, I'm like, you're going 2 opposite ways.
This is the thing. He fought Floyd. He fought Floyd. So I mean, why not fight Sharif?
What's Sharif's weight?
Sharif a little bigger than Floyd. Sharif fight at 154. Okay. But he'll go up to fight. He's fought as heavy as like 175. He fought in the Olympic trials, I believe, at 178. I believe. I'm not sure, but that wouldn't be the weight size difference wouldn't be a problem for Sharif. I think that he gives Logan the blues. I think he gives Logan and
you put him to sleep.
I don't like to predict knockouts. Okay. I don't know if he'll predict. I don't know. You know, because styles make fights, and that determines the outcome. But I definitely see my brother's hand being raised against Jake or Logan.
Okay.
So do you think this fight's not going to be competitive with Jake? I know you don't want to predict knockout.
I mean, I think that we're in 2 totally different classes. I think this kid is in way over his head. He is like I said before, it's a combination of 2 things. The sparring that he's under the impression. I don't know if he thinks I was giving my best. And my last fight with me losing via stoppage, I think that he thinks he can do what Kenzie Morrison did. And I just don't think that he's on Kenzie Morrison's level. Kenzie's 20-0 with 18 knockouts. He has a hell of a lot more
country
experience.
strong.
I mean, really, he has a whole lot more experience than you know.
He is.
But you're not even from the country. I'm a country guy.
And one of the fans is wondering, Danny is wondering, this goes on your official record. This is not an exhibition.
Yes. This is an official fight.
Yep.
How many rounds?
This is an official fight, 8 rounds.
So he ain't going to 8.
I mean,
yeah, let's go.
Not if I can help it. I would. Okay. I don't. You know, I came into the boxing game and I was told that Showtime wasn't doing me no favors. That's what I was told coming into the boxing game because of my history, because of the history with the lawsuits or whatever the case may be. Showtime ain't doing you no favors. So, all right, Showtime ain't doing. All right, I can't leave it. I really can't leave it in the hands of the judges. So, because you don't know what's gonna happen.
It's a great point.
This is funny because this is like the biggest audition for anybody, especially for a fighter. You're basically auditioning for Showtime, who said they weren't going to give you any favors,
right?
And has held things over your head if that's the case.
And
you're auditioning for a big. The boxing world is small, but the boxing world's big because it's just us.
Yeah, you can mess up all their plans.
And there's a lot of us that haven't seen you, so you auditioning for us. You know what I mean? and then of course the other fans that are going to be watching that fight, man. It's a big deal, man. I'm glad to see you get it.
Thank you. I'm glad to represent not only all the Muslims in the world, but all the boxing fans, all the people that feel like this guy is disrespectful, and all.
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, of course.
I can't say it,
But yeah, I'm representing all of us, man. We going in there, and I'm gonna put my best foot forward, and I believe that my best is better than his best. So we definitely gonna make it do what it do August 6th.
Rock, just to close on the fight, man, because I don't know if you saw Ishe Smith on Twitter. I know you know Ishe from back in the days and whatnot, and you talked about, you know, technical skills wise, there's no way this guy's better than you. And he was talking about that, but he said he felt this fight for you is going to come down to pride of that last name, of your background as a real fighter. And that was kind of his take on you and Jake Paul, was it's going to come down to Rock Jr.'s pride. What do you think of that? And do you agree with Ishe's assessment?
Nobody's ever seen me quit in the boxing ring. So I've already shown that. I've already proven that. So, you know, he may be correct, but I've already proven that. Nobody's ever made me quit, not in sparring, not in a fight, not in an amateur fight. No one's ever made me quit. So it's definitely going to be, you know, my name's on the line for this. Not only my name, but everybody that believes in boxing. So everybody that believes in boxing, make sure y'all on Team Rockman come August 6th. Because
not all fighters like grow up loving boxing. Like Shawn fought, but he didn't watch boxing like that, but you did. So it seems like you feel like you're not, like you said a bunch of times, you're not just doing it for you, you're doing it because you love the sport too and you want to represent boxing. Not all fighters grow up loving boxing despite being good at it.
Absolutely. I mean, it's one fight I keep looking at that I don't know if it's gonna play out like this fight, but I really, really wanted to. It's Floyd Gotti. And I that's the type of performance that I got in my head. And that's just what I want to go out there and do. I just want to prove that, you know, he's the best at creating content, and I'll be the best at kicking ass come August 6th.
Well, Rock, Floyd was landing 8-punch combos, and he might not be there for 5, 6, 7, and 8 if you get off the first 4.
Man,
so
we'll see.
You know.
I don't think that, I'll put it like this. I don't think that Jake would have still been in the fight in the 5th round had he been my opponent on April 29th when I fought Kenzie. I don't think that Jake is as tough as Kenzie. He's definitely not as tall. He's not as big. He's not as strong. He may be faster. He may move a little better. I don't even think he's in better shape. Kenzie's condition is underrated. So
we've never really seen him get hit.
Right.
How do you, I know Zittel alluded to it earlier, but how do you prevent conditioning issues this time around?
You know, I'm eating different. I'm definitely eating different because I have to make the weight.
You vegan now, right?
Nah, can't do the vegan.
No pork.
No pork.
Never that.
Never pork. But I'm eating different.
He's Muslim.
What that's done is giving me better fuel.
Okay.
So now I'm going into my workouts with better fuel. So in order to put myself at the position to be able to actually perform at a high level for a long time, I got a lot better fuel in my body now, and I'm able to keep a higher pace for a longer time. So without giving away too much, the conditioning it was in the preparation and the way that you prepared and what you prepared for. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I keep it 100. I took Kenzie lightly. I didn't think Kenzie was going to be the competition that he was. I didn't think that, like Shawn said, I hadn't seen him really get hit a lot. I hadn't seen him really go through anything. And I was like, man, this guy's fought all you know, walk through fights. He's never been in there with anyone like me. And I was almost right. But, you know, Kenzie, I underestimated how much he wanted. He wanted it just as much as me. The sport means to him a hell of a lot because his dad was the world champion. You know, I underestimated that. He loves the sport just like I love the sport, and I feel like that was his hurrah. I feel like that was his hurrah moment in that 5th round, and he laid it out because it was really all he could do. If he loses another round, and it's pretty much over because I'm dominating, and you in there getting dominated by somebody. I mean, it's pretty tough. But he did what he had to do. He stepped on the gas and he landed the punches that hurt me, and you know, the outcome was the outcome. But like I said before, I was still on my feet. I was still you know, contesting the stoppage. I felt like it was early, but you know, I took the loss as a lesson. And that was probably the best thing that could happen, because now look where I'm at.
Good way to transition here. I just did the Akin Barak. I did an interview with Akin Barak. Shout out to them. They have the Akin Barak show on the Zone daily. You guys need to check that out.
Shout out to those guys.
Awesome guys.
Yep.
Solid dudes.
On air,
New
off
Yorkers.
air. Yeah, straight up. Straight up. I do rock with a lot of New Yorkers. Anyway,
The whole team in New York.
They asked the question, he says, you never want to lose, but is it like a blessing in disguise? And I said, no fighter wants to lose. I said, but what losing forces you to do is really stop and do a self-assessment on yourself and really fix what's wrong. So you'll get guys that will kind of, you know, get a gift on fight night, and if you get that gift, you may play a mind game with yourself.
I'm good.
And keep it pushing.
Yeah.
I said the losses that I've had when I've seen other people take losses, it forces you to stop and really fix what's wrong. And I'm glad that you're not just leaning on running every day to be in shape for a fight. You understand that the food you put in your body is fuel.
Absolutely.
And as told to me by my dad and a bunch of other different people, our bodies are like cars. The fancy car that you got in the garage, what are you gonna put it? What fuel are you putting in that? You ain't putting the 87 in that. So why would you put cake and ice cream and pizza and all these things inside your body before a big fight? You wouldn't do it. So I'm actually glad because you answered the question. Like I'm handling the conditioning, but guess what? I'm eating better. Even more importantly, I'm just coming off of a loss, so I'm really, really hungry. And they didn't know that I was really hungry, and they're about to find out August 6th. So
Absolutely.
I dig that. Hey, do you are you watching boxing when you ain't doing it?
Oh, absolutely. When I had the time, this being in the pay-per-view is it's not overwhelming, but it is definitely a calling that I've seen before. I've seen many champions go through training camps, and now it's my time. So it's like train, eat, sleep, train, eat, sleep, train, eat, sleep, train, eat, sleep. So I'm training, then I'm eating, then I'm sleeping, and actually that's another huge part of this training camp that was not really a big focus in my last camp. Sleeping, I wasn't getting and like I said, man.
You staying up playing too much 2K?
So much props, Fortnite. So much props to Kidsy Morrison, but and I don't take anything away from his win. He got the win over me. I congratulate him, wish him all the success. But like I said, you go back and you look at things that you could have changed. I could have slept more. My sleeping pattern could have been better, and now I'm sleeping better. I'm sleeping for the right amount of hours, and I'm getting up. I'm eating and I'm training, and I got X amount of training sessions a day, and we're few going into every training session, so that way I can give these training sessions 100%. So by me giving these training sessions 100%, it's more so emulating fight night. So fight night, I got to go 8 rounds at what I want to be 100%, but nobody can go, or nobody that I've seen yet in boxing can go 100% every round. So it's my job to be able to go like either 95, 90% every round and keep going, and keep it above that, as opposed to.
What percent was I at?
Well, man, look, when Shawn is on that, I've never seen nobody run the track, and I've seen so many people run, right? I've seen so many people run. I've never seen anybody run like you. if y'all ever see Shawn run on the track,
With
this
boxing
man,
gloves on.
You'll never see me run on the track
Yeah,
again.
you do run. He does run with his boxing gloves
No,
on.
he said it as if
What's up?
you might get the opportunity to experience what he had an
Why you
opportunity to
run with your
experience.
boxing gloves on?
it's crazy.
He gets right to the
That's
midst
what
after.
Sean.
You
That's
run with
what,
your boxing
that's
gloves
what Sean
on?
Gibbons.
When I
thinks
was with
boxing
Shawn, I
is.
had to. But this man is like tearing up the track with his feet. It's crazy because you'll be behind him and he's like the way his feet is just grinding into the track. And actually, Shawn, you are right. You have one of the best engines that has ever been seen in boxing, man. And like I witnessed it myself. How you got that engine? You ate correctly. You slept correctly. You only was in the gym or at the track and didn't let anything really deter you from doing your job.
Yeah.
And I'm motivated by fighters like you, by fighters like Floyd, fighters like my dad, and so many others that dedicated themselves to the sport, and then it comes out to play on fight night. But if I was to put a number on it, like Shawn would be at probably, if he was at 100 in the first round, he'd be at like 97, 98 come round 10. Like it's an incredible feat to be able to do that, and not a lot of people.
It's here too.
Yeah.
Just so you know,
Yep.
it's here too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Just so
Thank
know.
you for saying that too.
It's here too.
Yes,
Straight
sir.
up.
Yes, sir. I hear you.
I never counted the rounds.
Mm-hmm.
And like when they would walk by with the card, like
Never look at it.
I
Close his
specifically put my head down because I didn't want to know what round it was.
Mm-hmm.
My dad would jump in the ring sometimes, and he look out, hey, what round is it? And I would try to turn my ears off
Mm-hmm.
to what round it was, because to me, it's not about seeing the finish line. It's about doing whatever it takes to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's how you fight.
that was the mentality
yep,
that I had.
That's how you
Yeah.
fight too.
It
Because
didn't
you
matter
can tell.
Didn't matter what round it was. I was
Yep.
gonna do what I needed to do.
100% too. 100% going 100%. There's no like take a round off. You see a lot of fighters take rounds off,
Yeah.
and you can tell. But now with Shawn, it's full fledged. Balls to the wall the whole time.
Well, everybody watching, that's Hasim Rahman Jr. getting in the ring against Jake Paul August 6th out there in New York, Madison Square Garden.
Yeah,
At the Mecca.
Yes, sir.
Showtime
Hold
pay-per-view.
on, hold on. You know I got something wild to say.
Yeah.
Before you
Nice.
leave,
Next tape.
don't end up like no damn mean. Don't end up
Oh,
as a
nah.
mean.
Oh, nah.
You're doing it for us, baby.
I already told Jake I'm knocking him out of his gloves and his boots, so we waiting for that meme. We're gonna have him on the meme.
There we go.
We got I'm extremely humble, and I'm confident, and I have my faith right. I have my team right. I have absolutely no doubt that my hand is going to be raised on August 6th. I have absolutely no doubt that I'm going to spoil their plans. 2001, Lennox Lewis was supposed to be fighting Mike Tyson in the biggest fight that boxing had ever seen. And Lennox Lewis chose my father as an opponent. He chose him, just like I was chosen for this fight. So, history has a way of repeating itself. No Lewis and Tyson. No Lewis and Tyson. That was were the first words on my dad's mouth in the post-fight interview, because they were counting on this to be Lewis's showcase for what he would do to Tyson. And now, you got the whole Fury situation, or you got the Anderson Silva situation, or whatever. But, just like Jake has people that he wants to fight, I got people I want to fight too. I got a family to feed too. This is an opportunity to put us on the map forever. So he got to fall short. Jake Paul got to fall.
You win this fight, people are gonna remember. You're gonna get stopped pretty much the rest of your life.
Yeah, I mean, and then now I call the shots, and I say who I want to fight and what the terms of the deals are. And Jake Paul does a lot of faking. He do a whole lot of faking. Like, he say what's right. Like, he's such an advocate for boxers getting more money, and he thinks boxers should get paid way more, or whatever the case may be. Even to the extent where he gave everyone who fought on his last cards like crazy bonuses. So why the first boxer you fight, I'm getting less than half of what the lowest amount of anyone that he's ever fought made.
Is it because they were hoping you turn it down?
I don't know what the reason was, but it just goes to show that if you're really real about what you say, and boxers should be getting such amount of pay, or boxers should be respected or appreciated more, like you say, or like he's claimed in the past, why would you even bring me something like that? Why would you even bring me like literally everyone he's fought has gotten more than, if you double my paycheck, everyone's gotten more than that. And then, you know, they gave me 0% of the pay-per-view. They gave it, the whole thing the whole thing was just meant for me to say no. But when I sit and think about it, I'm like, man, everybody in boxing wants to fight this guy. I'm like, nobody else in boxing is going to turn this fight down. So I pretty much took it regardless of what it said on paper. I'm very good friends with Devin Haney, and I just seen him lead by example. Everything on paper wasn't what it was supposed to be when he went overseas, but the risk was very much worth the reward. And now he's the undisputed lightweight champion of the world.
And you guys share a man in the corner, right? Yoel.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, you know, you all had a big say in taking this fight. And I really, really think that, you know, we have the winning recipe for this fight.
That's what's up. Hey, let's recap real quick. Let's recap.
Not much coming up this coming week. Joet Gonzalez fights against Isaac Dogbeck. Decent fight.
Barry Hunter working with Isaac.
Yeah.
You know. So
Yeah.
That should be.
Yeah, it's
that's
a good
two
fight.
guys who come forward and
Yeah.
fight.
Beat both of them.
Say again. Emmanuel
Navarrete.
Navarrete. No, we know.
Yeah,
He loves Navarrete. Bro.
Yeah, that's my guy.
his guy.
That's the only like main fight coming up this week. But
Navarrete and Cubans.
yeah,
That's it.
true.
Yep.
Pretty much some
not the
sums me up.
cigars.
Yeah, not the cigars. But yeah, we were all
We got
in,
Danny Garcia the weekend after that, right?
Yep.
yeah
Against Jose
30th.
Benavidez Jr.
Yep. We three of us were in LA. Two of us were at the fight. I was at the Future.
And Barboza got a dub the night
guess which
before.
two?
Yeah.
Arnold Barboza.
Richard Torres got a knockout.
Him and
first round stop.
Tiafimo is definitely a good fight for Tio, who's still recovering from cambosis. He fights the week after Rock's fight at the Resorts World.
Yeah.
Barboza's probably a good fight after that.
Yeah, yeah. I don't mind that. Where do we want to jump in on the DAZN broadcast? Rocha.
Don't forget Prograis too. Prograis, that man's a dog. He's
Yeah.
got to get in the mix somewhere.
Regis.
The
Like
business
him,
of
yeah.
boxing's beating him up right now.
Yeah.
Nobody in the ring.
Yeah.
Nobody in the ring. Is,
Yeah.
But you know.
Yeah, I just like to throw his name in there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
No doubt. Where do we want to
Yeah, let's go Rocha, and then we'll go to
Rocha main event? Okay.
And I don't.
Yeah, I don't think we need to dwell on Rocha.
Yeah.
I'm also not sure why was Brandon Lee included in a lot of those conversations yesterday.
They were forcing it.
And there was a very glaring omission there on that list.
Yeah.
That just so happened to beat the welterweight in the ring that night.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were like, yeah, all these up and coming welterweights. I was like, that's weird. I don't see Rashidi Ellis anywhere listed there.
But that might be the biggest takeaway from Alexis Rocha, who's definitely a competent, solid pro at welterweight. Is Rashidi beat him clearly, and him knocking out Blair Cobbs and then continuing to look like a really solid guy shows you what Rashidi's got.
Yeah, Ant, I think Ant mentioned before. I think you're dead on the money. It has to be Virgil Ortiz.
Yeah,
It just
For what?
for the next for Rocha.
Rocha.
Oh, for Rocha. Oh,
And
wow.
What's the NABO? What that get you?
It is the title that you win, I believe, to get ranked by the WBC.
BO. It's WBO.
Yeah, I think it is, right? Because the NABF's WBC.
Yes.
NABF
This is so
WBC.
funny that we have to connect.
Yeah,
these
I know
dots,
it was,
but
but I just wanted to ask you.
It's like the Goosebumps. Choose your adventure.
The Intercontinental
what
title.
the-
I knew that
what
even
does
though
that-
it was
what does
BC,
it
there was
guide
a
you to?
different
I promise you.
AO or IF that was behind.
Ant-
We're
question.
always going to be confused about it. Don't worry.
To Ant's
No matter how
question.
long we're in this.
What is it,
sport.
guys?
Guys, please. I assure you, we don't need to
NAB
dwell on this.
NABO gets you ranked in the top 15 in the World Championship. So that's how they got him. You know, you're talking about, hey, how's Alex Rocha on there? Or you were talking about Brandon Lee. How's he on that list? But, you know, someone like
Not even in the weight
Alexis. Yeah.
He's at 140. And very solidly at 140. So
Never
to
reach.
Ant's question, what do you think? Virgil just makes sense. He's the one that's over there. That seems like a fight. Neither of them take steps back, so you're going to have an action fight.
I mean, Virgil wins that fight.
Yeah, Virgil ends up
agree.
getting him out of there late.
I would agree. I didn't see a lot from and I think maybe his hand was hurt. They were alluding to in the corner potentially. I'm not sure, but yeah, didn't really see Alexis Rocha put the foot to the gas.
He hurt him once, but they couldn't get him out of there.
Yeah, and then it just
It was weird. I put in my
kinda
notes.
was.
He threw 62 punches around, but it just didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
And then there's fighters where they're not throwing that many punches around, but it feels like they're throwing more punches per round. But yeah, it's
maybe a little more foot speed is what I would like to see out of him. But that's just my preferred
well, no,
style anyway.
he would tag these guys. He hurt him to the body in the fifth. It looked like he had him ready to go.
Yeah.
But
Did he take a knee?
no, he didn't. No, it was close, but he didn't. He came close. But this is what Shawn
That's too
was.
far away.
Shawn was talking last week about your second and third layer of punches, and Rocha would 1, 2, 3 to the get him good to the body, and then he wouldn't follow up. He wouldn't follow up. And that was something you were very good at.
Because you got to be, because you have to train for it. Like if you know what you after a couple of rounds and you know this, a couple of rounds of being with somebody, you know what their defensive moves are gonna be. You know how many steps they're gonna take back and things of that nature. I mean, I cracked the code, but I can't go over there and give it to Alexis Rocha. When you come at this guy, he's long and he's gonna move.
Should have sent a paper airplane from above.
he was gonna move, but if you don't have that knowledge that I actually just gave, I don't know if my dad's pissed or not that I gave that. That to me, that's something that makes my dad special because in a lot of ways, my dad created that. I don't know any other coach that teaches a fighter to throw one combination to make a fighter move, just to throw another combination to make a fighter move, just so that you can land the last combination. My dad would tell me that the first two combinations aren't meant to land, and I'm like, that's a lot of energy. You don't understand.
But that's what Mike Tyson, like yourself, shorter guy, always had to do that just to get to the right.
So that is I think the only thing that Alexis really needs to
a very solid welterweight. Though. Good welterweight will beat a lot of welterweights.
Yeah.
I don't see him cracking that glass ceiling yet. Still young, 24, I think.
Yeah.
So main event though, Ryan Garcia.
My man delivered.
He dominated from the bell.
He delivered.
I mean, Javier never had a moment.
I didn't lose the first round.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I did. I didn't lose the first round.
Oh my God.
Well, because I thought
I respected.
I could be
the
wrong.
boldness.
You do?
I didn't have him lose.
Oh,
the
okay.
first round, but I respected the boldness of it.
Well, what about you?
First, I want. I'll get there. But first, just because my man Rock could be a commentator when he's done boxing. He really loves and watches boxing as a fan. So I just want to ask you first, Rock, and take Baltimore out of it. Take the Ravens, which beat these 49ers, out of it. Take Baltimore out of it. How'd Ryan look last night, and can he fuck with Tank? Sorry.
I think
No, go ahead.
I think he looked good last night.
We'll
He looked good.
skip the whole recap of the fight.
He dominated last night. He did what he was supposed to do. I would put Ryan up there, but not on the level of Tank, Devin Haney, Lomachenko. I wouldn't put him in that category yet, but he's definitely showed promise. But I don't think that. No, to be honest, no, I don't think.
Can he get there?
I don't think he can
he
beat Tank.
get there soon?
I don't think he'll ever be able to beat Tank.
Okay.
It's
I
interesting
think that
because
Tank is. I've seen Tank knock out light heavyweights in the gym. I mean, that's in the gym, but it's just I've seen him dominate guys. Like I've seen him punish middleweights.
That's almost more impressive though. He's hitting them with 16-ounce gloves now.
Exactly, 16, 14, whatever the case may be. He's hitting them with bigger gloves on, but he's like hurt really, really big guys. And I don't think that Ryan would be able to overcome the amount of experience because Tank has an underrated amount of experience. I don't think that I think Tank adapts to Ryan's speed, which may win him the first 3, maybe even the first 4 rounds. But I think that eventually Tank catches up to Ryan, and it's most likely good night.
And you mentioned a name earlier that they actually alluded to a couple of times on the broadcast. So we mentioned before the fight, it's at 140.
Right.
They mentioned Regis.
Right.
And I'm like, really?
Right.
I wouldn't take that fight.
No, I wouldn't take that fight if I was Ryan Garcia in a million years.
Oh, Regis is
And Regis is a big 140.
and he's pissed.
Yeah, pissed off Regis Progress. That's not.
And he can punch and he's athletic.
Yeah, exactly. When they mentioned that, I was like, don't you want to?
Should he change his?
Don't you want to get him into the division a little bit first?
What about JoJo Diaz?
That's the fight.
Get him at 140.
He's
Oh
got
my
it.
gosh, you're bringing Judge. How many weight classes
No,
does that poor guy have to go
okay,
up?
well, if
Who
Ryan,
else is gonna put him in there with? He's not ready for Tank.
I don't think he is.
he's got to fight JoJo first. That's the seasoning.
What else you got?
140?
What else do you have?
Well,
But
if he
he's
can-
at Ryan
I know,
Garcia
I
yesterday
know.
said I'm not going there for anything.
Where's JoJo
135.
at? 130.
What he came,
135.
what he come up from 22?
126.
Oh, he came up from 26.
Hey, Pacquiao did it. Okay.
That's manufactured.
Fair enough.
And
Yeah, I don't
Alex
know.
Ariza.
Oh my. Yeah, push past that. Push past that.
One of the greatest fighters of all time.
But yeah, I don't know. That JoJo Diaz was a name people keep mentioning. I'm like, really? So if you wanted him to grow into 140, hey, go ahead and fight this former featherweight? What kind of sense does that make?
Well, I'll break the logic.
Yeah, please do.
But-
So
so he-
do it. 'Cause I don't know.
If he can make 135, because maybe he can.
He's not doing it, but go ahead.
I know, absolutely. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it might be a matter of he just doesn't want to suck down. And I get it. He's the tallest guy out of all these young guys. He's damn near 6 feet tall. So he's a big kid. But Devin Haney, he sucks down. He pays the price. He pays the sacrifice to make 35. I know Devin says he does all the right things to make it, and he does, but he kills himself to make 135. I've seen Devin the day before he fought Jorge Linares. His voice was so weak he could almost barely talk at a normal tone. So he makes that sacrifice. Tio made that sacrifice to become the champion at lightweight. He was killing himself to make.
You guys are a mess, by the way.
Don't worry about it.
You guys are like schoolgirls. What is this?
No, we're working. Okay.
Go ahead,
We're literally
Zittel.
working the podcast.
We're businessmen.
You guys are.
Yeah,
idiots.
we are. We're
Keep
working
going,
business.
Zittel.
Gervonta.
Yeah.
He's had his battles with the scale.
Wait, start over. I wasn't listening.
So, Haney?
No, please don't
Yeah,
restart.
yeah.
Forget them. Do it for the people.
I mean, Haney, Tiafimo, and Tank, well documented. They've had to suck down to 35. So if Ryan, if you can't do it, you can't do it. If your body can't do it, you can't. I'm not gonna sit here on my ass and say kill yourself if you can't do it. But if it's a matter of that sacrifice, that very uncomfortable sacrifice, and you're at the age where you can do it, 23, 22, 24, he's got to get to 35 instead of asking lightweights to fight him at 140.
But why?
And because Diaz unlike Fortuna, Diaz is going to keep coming no matter what. He's going to keep coming. Even because Fortuna felt the power in round one and said,
I'm good.
Did he win round one?
no,
No.
I didn't think so. But it was competitive. It was the most. But he felt that power like in the first 30 seconds and said, damn, this kid is serious. He
Held
he's
on. As soon as he
strong.
got hit, he held on.
Yeah.
Right.
The very first punch he got hit with clean, he grabbed on. I was like, whoa.
So, but Diaz, with his heart, he's gonna feel that and keep coming anyway. He'll keep coming until you take him out on his shield. And Ryan needs that because Diaz gave Devin a tougher fight than Kambosos did, and most importantly, Diaz is a short southpaw like Tank, and he needs a look at that. Look, yeah, he fought a shorter southpaw last night, but this guy, when he felt the power, was done. Diaz is gonna keep coming. And if Diaz is intelligent with his pressure and defense, he can really crack you. And
Sure.
so
JoJo and Tank on 2 different levels.
absolutely, but it's a
JoJo not
preparation.
gonna
for
get,
it.
JoJo not gonna get him ready for no Tank.
Yeah, that I get. I'm
He
with
get a
If
better
he want to
than-
get ready for Tank, he better fight Jamal Charlo or something. he's not gonna be ready for no Tank.
I'm with Rock though because I see Ryan Garcia say I'm not going to 35. I'm done with it. I'm at 140. I don't. So you're gonna squeeze down another camp to 135 to fight JoJo Diaz to prepare for Tank?
No, he wasn't. He's not going to squeeze down to 35.
He's saying to go down to 35.
No, you telling JoJo
no,
to come
he's
up to
saying to go to
140,
35.
right?
No, I'm thinking if Ryan.
Oh,
I
wasn't
don't know. I don't know. But I do know Devin.
You don't say.
I know that Devin and Tio have paid that real uncomfortable price fighters pay to get down to a certain weight. And I'm not saying I don't know if he can or can't. But if he can, you got to do it because they're doing it. They're paying that uncomfortable, cheeks sunken down to the bone price to get to the weight to make the fights happen that they want. Instead of saying, "Oh, I can't." This
But if
weight's
you
tough.
get, but if you can get Tank at 40,
Sure.
stay at 40.
Yeah, okay, but I think the Diaz fight. Look, Diaz ain't Tank Davis.
Yeah.
obviously, but it's a good. You got to fight guys who are at least going to get you ready for that level, right?
Yeah, man.
And he needs
I
a
would
couple
stay away
years.
from that fight if I was Ryan. I would
Just
not
period.
be trying to fight. Yeah, I would not be trying to fight.
But there's so much money on the
would take-
table for it.
But
now.
I will talk
For
it.
JoJo Diaz? Or for
no,
Tank?
Tank.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I was like,
you
wait a
can't-
second.
I mean, at the end of the day, if we had one belt, these
Yeah.
Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford would have fought 2 times already
Yeah.
and
And
fighting
instead,
again.
Earl's gonna fight Rolly.
Yeah. All right. So anyways,
That's crazy.
That's a wild guy, man. Good.
but at the end of the day, he just needs a couple more
That boy
years.
retarded.
Yeah, he is a wild boy.
I just go ahead.
It just, I still seen flaws in Ryan last night. Flaws that will not allow you to last maybe 6 with Tank.
Yeah.
It's just the little things. And he with Joe Goosen, so over time, I think Joe can tighten that up. But it's just the little things he needs to fix that he lacks. You guys all seen it. I'm not even going to put him out like that. But it's just little things he lacks that he needs to fight a JoJo Diaz. He needs to find another guy we never heard of to fight. I need to push it off long as you can, Oscar.
See, I actually I mentioned to both of
I'm
you
gonna be honest
this
with you.
weekend.
For the business,
I actually like that he moved the 40. And I think he mentioned, I don't know if he was on with you guys or somebody else, that he wants to get to 40 and then settle in, and those guys are going to have to get to him. Obviously, Teofimo's at 40 now, but I think it would probably make more sense just fight somebody else at 40. I can't think of a name off the top. And to be fair, I think JoJo Diaz is a great fighter. I think JoJo Diaz is getting a disservice going up to 40, and I don't think it's helping Ryan, so I don't think anybody wins.
Yeah, you got to find somebody who's going to help Ryan in fight situation.
Yeah. But I don't know. I thought the performance was good yesterday. Body shot was probably the hardest punch that landed yesterday. My God.
Well, someone said it's catching these guys by surprise, and usually it's because when you throw that left hook to the body, you dip down with it. And Ryan just throws it, knees not bent, and just throws it as if he's throwing the headshot.
And it looked like Fortuna was kind of leaning into it, and I was like, ooh.
and it's like when your big brother used to pop with the towel. But that was a shot.
Yeah.
So, but for his flaws you're talking about, and like when he opens up, you can see it. That chin's there. It's there to be countered. But he's so big. That's an equalizer. Tank's positioning and his smarts. Tank's been in world championship fights for 5 years. Ryan hasn't even been in a title fight yet. But at the same
Talk that talk.
Okay, yeah, but his size, and, I'm having fun with it, but his size can be an equalizer because he's just so big. Against
Makes
Fortuna,
himself laugh more than anyone in the
against
world.
Fortuna, when he dropped him on one of the shots, Fortuna had him all teed up for his left hand. It was on the money, but it was an inch or two short. And sometimes tall guys Vladimir Klitschko got away with it. They get away with it because they're tall. That chin's in the air. Ray Vargas against Mark Magsayo all night.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you gotta get there. And Fortuna was an inch or two short. Bang! That quick left hook came and it knocked him out. That's in play against Tank. Look, I'd favor Tank, but it's a good fight because to get there, Tank's 5'5", he's 5'10". To get in range, he's got to be in the danger zone to where Ryan can land. And if you're 1 or 2 inches short with that shot, even if you lined it up right, but it falls short, bang! That left hook with speed is coming like a whip right after it. So
this is gonna sound
it's an explosive fight. Someone should get knocked out in that fight. It's a great fight. I want to see it.
Damn.
This
is gonna sound crazy, but I'm not sure there's anything like you could tell me that Tank can't do. Like I just assume like when he's talking about that, I'm
well,
like,
he doesn't
nah,
throw
Tank
a whole
can do it.
bunch of punches per round.
Like I have so much faith in Tank where I'm like, nah, he can.
I think his last fight he threw it was like what, second round or third round, he only threw like 4 punches.
Right.
The whole round. But he's so smart because look how that turned out.
Art of war.
Exactly. Smart.
Yeah, and if Ryan's
smart.
settles into that pace, just starts looking for power, because he started with his jab in this fight and then used it sparingly for the rest of the fight. But if he walks around with Tank looking to set up power shots, Tank's going to beat him at that game. He's going to have to take advantage of Tank not throwing a lot of shots. But yeah,
Can he box him? Rolly had success until he forced the action, and he got action. He fought tall last night for the most part, man. Can he box him all night? Can he outbox him and get away and be defensively sound? He get inside, tie him up. Can you get away with that with Tank?
Tank too
Good
strong,
luck.
man.
Yeah, good luck.
Tank too strong for him to even be wanting to get in. He's gonna want to stay on the outside
That's what I'm
the
saying.
entire fight.
And he's so quick.
And I just think
Tank's
that-
so quick laterally. too.
Exactly. It's a combination. Tank has a combination of speed and power that is almost unseen in
Debo
boxing.
Samuel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Debo Samuel.
Is that left hand so deadly it can line you up?
I think that
Because I seen my man Ryan last night kind of guiding this guy for shots. He was setting up
I
shots.
seen Ryan get stood up from some shots last night.
Yeah.
He got stood straight up stiff. I think that if Tank land them same shots, it's
Night.
man, 10 count, wave count.
I'm not gonna say much because I know too much. So I mean,
Excuse the hell out
Must
of
be nice. He's like, yeah, you idiots, go ahead and talk.
No, I'm gonna save it for
surrounded by jackasses.
I'm gonna save it for fight night, but
Okay.
I will say this: I'll save what I got because it ain't going nowhere. I'll save it for fight night. If
Better
and
hope
when
you're working that fight.
Tank Davis, I'll be shooting you the tweets.
You'll let them know.
I'll be
Yeah.
shooting you the
You'll
tweets.
make sure to let them know. Hey, I got some insight here.
Say this, and then we'll get ready to get up out of here. But last night, what we saw between Ryan Garcia and Javier Fortuna, Javier came out first 2 rounds, and he's controlling the ring. He's moving the way that he wanted to move, so on and so forth. Ryan was stalking, but Ryan was basically stalking, trying to find you, and then let me throw a jab and let me find you. The fight turned a corner once Javier realized that Ryan wasn't going to stop and that the power was strong. Now Javier's moving the way that the way that Garcia needed him to move.
Wants him to move.
So there's a difference, and the key to this fight is ring control. And have we ever seen somebody control the ring against Tank Davis?
No.
So
How proud do you think Joe Goosen was watching Javier Fortuna spit that mouthpiece out? one happy tear just rolled down Joe Goosen's cheek. He said,
Diego.
I've seen that
Classic.
trick before.
Yeah, R.I.P. Diego Cross, the legend.
And you saw him not doing the
Chico.
Reynoso looks as much last night. He was
So
whatever. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say because you brought up Diego.
Corrales, yeah.
I trained with his son, Diego Corrales Jr. So shout out to Chico.
I didn't know his son.
Yeah,
Got in the
his
gym.
son. Yeah, his son's boxing now.
How
He's
old
gonna
is
have
he?
15. He'll have
there
his
you go.
first. He'll have his first amateur fight coming up soon.
Wow.
Oh, nice. He's out here.
He lives in Vegas.
Oh,
He
that's beautiful.
trains at DLX boxing every
Beautiful.
day.
gotta check him out.
Yeah,
Shout out to Lil Chico.
Little Chico.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Hey, he was a bad man.
Yeah, little
Oh,
Chico
yeah.
a bad man.
Is he?
man.
Yeah, he
Man,
got it.
Little Diego has a ton of heart. He's just starting. He's very fresh to the game. He's still learning, but he's definitely have a boatload of heart.
If he
And
punches like his daddy,
He's got a good
he'll
chance.
be fine.
he be in there punching me like he crazy. I've got to touch him back a little bit. Like, come on, man, what you doing? But yeah, shout out to little Diego coming up.
I put out a tweet. That's what me and Sean was talking about. So, it's the Jake Paul effect. Look at that. Look at that. That's the Jake Paul effect right there. That's the Jake Paul effect. And the numbers shot up. Hey, man, you got a message for him before we get out of here?
Who, Jake?
Yeah, for Jake.
I mean, look, man, you don't see Shakur Stevenson calling out Jermell Charlo, do you?
No.
How would that look?
Nonsensical.
I mean, that's basically what's going on here. But I'm gonna teach this boy a lesson. I'm gonna I took everything that was on the table, and I agreed to it. So there's no complaints. I'm gonna shock, not the world. I'm gonna shock his team because we already pretty much know what I'm gonna do. We know what I'm coming for. I'm coming to hurt this man. I'm not coming to play with him. I'm not with none of his games, none of his antics, none of that. That don't mean nothing. That little Tekashi 6'9" belt he bought, none of that means nothing to me. And it's all content. He can have all the content in the world. I don't care. All I care about is when that bell ring on August 6th. Yeah, it's gonna get real.
Okay.
Rock, good luck, man.
And I'm doing this fight, like I said, almost every interview I've done, I'm doing this fight for all the Muslims in the world. So, la ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah.
Oh, boom. Let's end on that. Cut it.